Today I'd like to talk about how to prevent pipes from freezing in the winter months. Let's start with the obvious, and that is that we should prevent things before they become a problem. And one of the first things you can do is to disconnect all exterior garden hoses from your exterior faucets. This might seem obvious, but these can freeze and can burst the hose or cause damage to the piping inside. If you do not have frost-free hose bibs, then we need to shut the valve off on the inside of the home, turn the valve on the outside, and allow that to drain. This is probably one of the most important steps and the first thing that we can do. Next, we want to seal any exterior openings that might be present around the crawl space or the foundation of the home. Oftentimes crawl space have crawl space vents, which are around the perimeter of that crawl space, and those are very often left open by homeowners, and they should be closed up in the winter months just because air will flow through that space, allowing it to get quite cold and the possibility of freezing pipes. So that's one of the first things we need to do. Next, we need to insulate any exposed piping, and this may be piping that's in the crawl space or maybe piping from our main water supply coming from a well pit, which often can be exposed in the well pit itself. And we need to wrap all of those pipes with insulation and apply heat tape prior to putting the insulation on. And that will allow the heat tape to be more effective by having that insulation hold the heat in. So we need to insulate all of those exposed piping. Now, let's assume that cold weather has settled in and we want to prevent freezing overnight before we go to bed. One of the best things you can do is to allow the kitchen or sink faucet to run slightly, just a fast drip or a slow trickle, and that will allow some water to move through the pipes and prevent freeze up during the night. Next, one of the things we can do is to open cabinet doors, especially on those fixtures that might be along an exterior wall, such as a kitchen sink or a bathroom sink, but especially on exterior walls. Just open up those lower cabinet doors and allow the air to flow around the piping, and that will help to keep that warm. Always when we're away on a vacation or away from the home for a period of time, we don't want to lower the temperature any more than 55 degrees in the home. And that will just keep that temperature high enough that we shouldn't prevent any freezing. Now, let's assume that we already have a frozen pipe. You wake up in the morning, go to draw water, frozen pipe. What can we do? Well, one of the first steps is to leave the faucet open. Then, if you can locate the area where you suspect that it's frozen, we want to use one of two things, either a space heater or a hair dryer, to warm those pipes slowly and gradually. And with that faucet open, the water should begin to flow eventually, and it will help to thaw that pipe out as the water begins to flow. Avoid using open flames. It might be tempting to go get a blowtorch and use that, but the risk of damaging the pipe or causing a fire is something that we want to prevent. So we're going to go with a slow heating method, and that should eventually, given some time, allow those pipes to warm up and that water to thaw out. Okay, I hope these have been helpful tips on preventing water freezing in your pipes during the winter months. I want to wish you a Happy New Year from Brick and Beam Home Inspection, and thanks for watching.